And I told my parents, I was like, I hate church. When I grow up, I'm never going to church, but now I can't live without church. But to give an honest answer, let me see. Okay, so growing up, I never really liked church. And when I say church, I mean the fake temples holding God's soul just for show, or the ones that say they know the word, but never really let it show. Yeah, them, those people. If anyone knows church fakery, it'll be me. A PK, a preacher's kid. I'll be PK. I mean, I've been a PK for 3 decades, and on every season and every episode, I've seen stranger things. But I've seen guns on church property, gigolos trying to get at my daddy, women fake smiling, wanting to fight my mommy, because they stood for what was right, and they stood as one, and nothing and no one could tear them apart. So they tried to demote them, but God promoted, uplifted, ignited the fire so hot it was shut up in their bones. Nothing or no one could put it out. No water, no jello. They were unwavering, standing tall like a tree beside still waters. Never parched, because then that mean they'd have nothing else to give, but they gave to live, and I meant they lived to give, and with nothing else they still had IV and NGD. Their children who wouldn't let them tank the holy crowns on their heads, because at any moment they could have popped off, they could have popped any man, any woman, but me and my sisters, man, we was something like...
Listen up, guys. We are live here with the Uncommon Report podcast, episode 26. This is the Food for Thought Poets Edition. Chime in, listen in, share the live, like the live, share it to a friend. Drop the comments. We're just going to tune out and listen to some music. Process get started. We'll be with you guys in about 3 minutes. Thank you.
Pulling off these layers back, but the skin never scaling. Just obtain these gifts. Now I'm prevailing. Let them purchase the wave, then they see me steady selling. Guess if I gotta go with it, that I will. I would tip it on the game needs some real spill. These stories get so vivid, it's arouse imagination. Sometimes I hog the blunt, don't like the past, the sensation. Only few can surround, surpass the vibration. You already warned, just without the citation. That breeze over your shoulder, that came when I'm around. Stars say you were the seed once you touch this ground. He felt disrespected once he forbid that sound. They awoke their presence, digging in what's already found. That voice spoke for itself, but didn't hear it clearly. That silhouette in the distance, you only see it nearly. That ranking in the back, disregarded, says the mind. Alone in the repetition, what really scares the confined. Don't mirror my image, it's love for my design. With a mix of these talents, what you think that combines? After mixing, he's the one, the 3 tablespoons of 9. They see how he's exquisite etiquette of the divine. That could be the storyteller, just not know what the story telling. Make a mistake to correct to the fam that steady felling. Guess if they not in, they steady exhaling. Pulling off these layers back, but the skin never scaling. Just obtain these gifts, now I'm prevailing. Let them purchase the wave, then they see me steady selling. Guess if I gotta go with it, that I will. I would tip it on the game needs some real spill. The fall between the mirror, view me through a shadow lens. They call them demons only cause they let that shadow in. With some set on the stone, see that gravel getting thin. With no love for self, moving with a casual sin. Best feeling with no emotion, is my actual grin. I've already got 9, what is the practical 10? Earn that blessing for the people, this a national win. Where it's all a dream, that's with the supernatural again. Where the smoke surrounds, the weary is so unpleasant. Where I knew he was a god for this game, he started as a peasant. Where they study his past, he is one from the ascendants. Where they look for the roll calls to see no one in attendance. Where the fire burns at night, see the clouds throughout the day. Where the chief made the call, but everyone don't get to play. Where one went to the ER, while she been trying to pray. Where where's the storyteller, be surprised by how we say. Could be the storyteller. promise this ain't easy, I've been grinding for some years. I was climbing in the dark, I had to face all of my fears. Learning how to be a man, cause ain't nobody keep it real. Always knew that I was special, but I had to switch the gears. One of a kind, but all I had to do was grind. See my mother die, you would think I lose my mind. God told me he had other plans and I was gonna shine. Turn my pain into some diamonds, but he had to change my mind. In the middle of the trenches, heartbroken, feeling lonely. They told me they was with me, but they never really showed me. Friends turned into enemies, but I ain't need no homies. God had to separate the elevate, and this is what he told me. Through the hurt, through the pain, in the middle of the rain, I'ma grind while I die, leave it all on the table. Some strength, they'll know my name. Cross the seas, we boarded planes. All I had to do was trust him, and he told me that he's able. 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 But sit back and just think of why you still alive. I know I'm a sinner, but I promise I'll be in the sky.
Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry, I muted. I was muted. But welcome to podcast episode 26 with the Food for Thought Poets Edition. I greatly appreciate everyone who came on the line tonight. We're actually getting ready to get this thing started. I had a phenomenal time to actually meet these poets in Milwaukee. They had a Food for Thought poetry night. I went on stage, I performed, but I connected with some genuine, loving people who had a passion for the art. So I'm gonna bring them on stage. If everybody can say what's up to the people, good people. Unmute yourselves. Unmute yourselves.
What's up? What's up?
Unmute
What's up?
yourselves.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all
What's
doing,
good?
good
What's
people?
hello? Hello? How y'all feeling?
Already. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, all right. So, first things first, we want to get a chance to know these phenomenal people that I've expressed about. So, first up, let's go from top to bottom. Mr. Obbs, how you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling well today, man. It's a good rainy day. I've been inside working all day, so we're feeling great, man.
Absolute, absolute. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so Mr. Obbs, that's what I go by, kind of widely. So by profession, I'm a writer, actor, founder of a nonprofit that works with schools internationally. A master's grad student degree in writing right now, and a community organizer of the arts, author, a few things, all things that keep me busy, but all things I love.
Already, already. Okay, okay. Let's get to it. We got Angela.
Yes,
Angela, talk to
actually,
the
just
people.
Angela. And just to clear it up, I am actually from Chicago, so from the south side
All
of
right.
Chicago. So I'm an educator, writer, mother, and loyal friend. So yeah, that's something about me. So I love everything about the arts. I'm very creative, love fashion. The water is my happy place. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad that Kevin invited me to join. I am a poet, love writing, always love writing. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Next, coming to the stage, my dear brother Emmanuel. Talk to the people. Let them know what you're about, my brother.
Yo, yo. Peace to everybody. Me, Emmanuel, I'm an artist, really, fully, in all its aspects, a creator. That's really what I do for real. I'm a full-time teacher to make money, you feel me? But I don't do it just to make money,
Right.
uh, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm in the field because I was called to the field, man. But
Mm-hmm.
any other time, man, I just be making stuff, man, creating, making poetry, making art. Follow me on Instagram at no alias. I make. I feel like I make some very, very, very nice art. Check it out sometime. It's cool. But
Absolute.
yeah,
Absolute.
yeah, that's
Absolute.
that's yeah, that's me though. That's Emmanuel.
All right. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Next up, we got our dear brother Tony D in the house. What's going on, Tony?
What's up?
Nothing much, my brother.
Thanks for having me too, man.
Oh, most deaf, man. Hey, look, the vibrations definitely was there whenever I met you guys at
Okay.
the Food for Thought. So, hey, continue doing what you're doing, man. Talk to the people, let them know what you're about.
My name Tony D. I've been writing for like probably since I was like 6 years old. It's been like a passion, like literature, like literacy
Mm-hmm.
way. I'm gonna get like tattoos about that, but I enjoy like I'm like a full artist. I sing as well. I might display my artistic at Food for Thought with that side as well. But I enjoy poetry. It's been a passion. Thank you.
Absolute, absolute, absolute. Hey, listen, guys, you've heard it here first. You've heard it here first, right here from the mouthpieces themselves. So, I got a few questions for you guys. I think we'll go in reverse this time. So Tony, maybe you'll be able to answer this
Okay.
first. How did you get started? How did you get started, my brother?
As far as poetry,
Poetry. How did you get started with the poetry?
I mean, it comes with like emotion in the field with like emotions. So I would just say like based on me learning how to write. That's why literacy matters. So just me basically learning how to write and just expressing myself because sometimes I never really had like the platform to like express myself because I used to be like a shy kid when I was
Right.
growing up. So that was like my creative side to like out to be like more outgoing, to just write it down and then just display it to others. So yeah.
So that's your therapy. That's your
Yeah.
therapy. Absolute, absolute. So tell me, like, who is some of your favorite people that you may listen to, whether it's in the music realm or even the poets is concerned.
Um as far as like what like I'm like a R&B type person.
Okay.
I listen to a little rap like Drake, but I'm more of like Trey Songz, Chris Brown era type.
Right, right, right. Any poets that you like listening to?
Um, I would say like the poets at Food for Thought, um, right now, and I also have Mr. All's book. I've been getting into that too a little bit. So, and I
Salute.
actually be on like the Instagram and listen to like the poetry speaks um on Instagram.
Right. I think I follow them as well.
It's like
Okay.
voices poetry. I think voices poetry.
Okay. All right. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Next up, we got Brother Emmanuel. Talk to the people, man. Let them know how you got started and what intrigued you.
What got me started in poetry, man? Feel like I was writing in high school.
Hmm.
I started writing in high school through Man, honestly, now that I think about it, I didn't write any poetry in high school, but I started writing poetry in college. I had a friend who was a rapper. Uh he rapped a lot, and we would freestyle. And
You remember his name?
yeah, his name was Scotty, or he went by GQ. Scotty used to rap, man. He was tough as hell. He was tough as a motherfucker.
Big
But
shots
we
out
used
to
to,
Scotty for sending
yeah,
the
shout out,
inspiration
man.
for real.
Shout out, man. But I also had this friend. Also, his name was Lionel. Like, I always had writing capability skills.
Hmm.
I always could write for real. I was writing stories in high school. I did write like poems for you know what I'm saying, school assignments, but I ain't get into poetry for real until I had like genuine friends who also were into writing and who also were into poetry, like, and genuinely too, and not just like doing it for the flex or like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So
Yes, sir.
I got to writing. We wrote to tracks, and then I got to writing a cappella, and then eventually I started using poetry as just a form of escapism to get, or at least to pour some of my most painful emotional dealings into something in that creative form. Because with poetry too, it's like it's like immediate, it's like an immediate release, like an immediate channeling of experiences, and it's powerful. So I really started writing a lot when I started teaching too, because I was going through a lot of shit, and so I picked up writing even more. But I definitely got into it because around like 2019, yeah, 2019 is when I really started writing heavy and freestyling with my boys, and yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Uh, as I continue to listen to the conversation, it seems like we got a lot of teachers. It seems as if though we have a lot of people who are utilizing the poetry for therapy as well.
Mhm.
So I want to commend you guys for one taking the courage to actually write your pain down. You know what I'm saying? I had someone tell me one time, they said, most people may run to the gram, they might run to Facebook, they might run to Twitter and put all their business out there, but for the poets, they put their pain in the pad. You know what I'm saying? So the pad ain't gonna reshare your stuff unless you get on stage and reshare it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's awesome. I commend you guys for taking that step and that leap of faith to actually go forward and feel your pains out, even your joyous times too, because as you know, the poetry realm is flustered with so many different levels of the spectrum. I'm gonna move on to the next individual. Just Angela. Talk to the people. Let them know what you're about, love.
Yes, so actually, I got into writing and my love for poetry. So Gwendolyn Brooks actually came to my school in third grade. So we actually got to meet her, have a talk with her. So that was phenomenal, and just a spark and a light went out, went on in my head. So just a love and just meeting her and inspiration. So ever since then, so just third grade, just a love for not only writing but reading as well. So that's where my love from writing came from, and I never stop, never will stop. I just feel like God gives everybody something, and I know that writing was something that God gave to me. So that's what happened, and that's what it is.
I got another question for you. I got another question for you. You can go ahead and unmute. When
Okay.
did uh when did you know, like, as you began to travel the journey of artistry, when did you know, like, hey, I'm really feeling this. I'm really in tune with this writing aspect.
When it's all that you can think about, it's all that you do. Like I have several like journals, like just constantly like texting messages to myself. It's like everything that's like on my brain. Like sometimes I might have to stop and like write something down.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when it's something that you can't stop doing, it's everything that's on your mind, something that you do all the time. When you just have like literally spirals and spirals and books of like just writing, you rent like short stories. That's when you know that that's a calling on your life.
Right,
So,
right, right. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. All right, all right. Moving on to the next. We got Mr. Obbs in the house. What's going on, my brother?
Man, not much, man. Yeah. So as I kind of think about it, I have two answers to that because like there was a point in which I first kind of got into writing. That was when I was 11. And I tell people all the time like I had kind of a fish out of water experience where like you usually have poets who are like inspired by poets in kind of the traditional sense where I didn't pick up my first poetry book of my own like choosing till I was like in my 20s, right? But
Wow.
um, but the poets that did inspire me were rappers like Nas's "Made You Look." I can give you every bar for bar what that song is. Ludacris, Missy Elliott, Busta. But also, there's the dichotomy of the black man. So there's also Gucci and
Hmm.
Boosie, Lil Boosie too at the end of that. But regardless, like just their
I think Boosie was a great storyteller, me personally.
oh yeah, absolutely. No, he really
For
was
sure.
really good storyteller, really good
Right,
storyteller. But and that's what drew me about those creatives. Like at 11, I didn't think because like my my growing up in hip hop was very like it didn't start to junior high because I grew up. I said it in a poem. I was introduced to Kirk Franklin years before I was introduced to Nas and all that. So that was like my foundation. But I didn't grow up with rap per se in that way. But so it wasn't an art form that I think I thought I could do. But I knew that I wanted to write stories. So I wrote stories about like my day to day as a junior high kid with friends and
right,
sports and whatnot, to things I saw in the classrooms, just really innocent, 11th grade stuff. And then, that writing followed me all the way through high school. And then my
hmm,
first major in college was creative writing before I got my degree in educational studies to become a teacher. Like that was my first degree because I just knew I wanted to write stories. But that's kind of like where I kind of found the passion. But with what I do now as like as a creative within poetry who does that as a profession, um, that kind of came to be when I was 23. I'm 33, going on 34 in a couple weeks now. But when I was 23, I found out about the art of spoken word poetry, right?
hmm,
And for me, because I was already writing poetry, I'm like, okay, I think I could do this because it's just poetry read out. And at 23, that's what kind of got me started. And it was really people who pushed me. The universe will always kind of like put you in places where like it's gonna show you what you're meant to do. You just got to be present enough to recognize it. Just enough. So I'd always have friends who challenged me to
right,
do open mics, friends that challenged me to start my own open mic for poets, friends that kind of like brought me out of town with them, out of state for poetry, and then from
right,
there it just kind of like naturally kind of became what I do now. So it's definitely owed to my friends, the Chris Brittons who are one of the original poetry teachers I met when I was in Rock Island. Well, I live in Rock Island, Illinois now, so I shouldn't say I have, but when I first found it, he was my introduction to that. Chris Britton, the other teachers that I had, like, yeah, they really kind of helped me kind of find this art and find my being in it.
okay, all right. So how important is it to have that supportive group to actually nurture some of your vision, some of your aspirations, some of the things that you want to go towards? How important is that? And did you always have that growing up?
I think just yeah, I was thinking about that as I heard people answering, and I think from like a writing perspective, I always had it because when you kind of think about it, like I grew up in Rock Island, Illinois, like where I currently live now. It's not a big
Okay.
art scene here. The art scene that we have is the art scene
Ah,
that we've been building the last 10 years, but it wasn't there when I was in junior high. So when you're involved in this art of poetry, which in junior high it ain't the coolest thing in junior high, and then when you get to high school, people kind of stigmatize it as like something like soft or whatever. But for
Geek
me, I
Squad.
just yeah, for me, I've always had this mindset that I just don't care what people's perceptions are, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I've always had that audacious part of me. But
Right.
regardless, though, I think having people support you, though, it makes the journey a lot less burdensome than it would be if you didn't have them. Having people who really like believe in your vision, tell you that this can happen, and are willing to kind of come by you within service. I'm grateful for that. Because even though I could operate out of that, do everything and be self sufficient. You shouldn't always have to do that if you can make the choice of depending on people.
That's right. That's
we,
true indeed.
we
That's
don't
true
need to burn
indeed.
ourselves out just to prove ourselves. So I've been grateful for it. They've been a big help, and really kind of shaping my vision as a leader within kind of the creative community that we've been curating and all that. So I'm definitely grateful for the people around me for that.
Okay. All right. Just Angela, talk about the people behind the scenes who help encourage you. What was that like?
Well, definitely teachers in school, getting on board to encourage me, family, friends, being involved. I would definitely say like in a church, like, being leaders like, Sunday school, being in like plays, things like that, getting behind me. So stuff like that. So I would say that. So that was my encouragement. And then definitely myself, like I'm definitely my own cheerleader, my own fan. So if I don't believe in myself, then who else will? So that's the
Right.
honest answer. Yeah.
Okay. Brother Emmanuel, you actually the one that actually broke the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the question, how important is it to have that support group to back you on things that may be outside of the norm? And if y'all could reposition your camera just a little bit, um, there you go. You good?
It's actually really important, honestly, because we absorb a lot of what's in our immediate environment. And if we don't have a voice in our ear telling us,
Hmm.
at least some kind of voice in our ear telling us that something is good and we should follow that light, or even giving us the opportunity to explore those things, you know what I mean? Like, for example, like all of the greatest basketball players, they always start super young. They always go to AAU. You got to have access and money to be in those type of programs, those early athletic programs. Not to say like somebody who don't have access can't make it, but if you have exposure to certain things, you're much more likely to pursue them. So it's like, thank God for all those English teachers that taught poetry or taught English in general or taught people how to write, or thank God, or you know thank God for some of those people that were so that executed the art form so like perfectly. Not or even in their flawed ways, just the courage you know to use their gift and project who they are, just inspiring. It's good to have that voice. It's crucial.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. Tony D, you last up on the stage. Talk
Yeah.
to the people and let them know how important it is to have a support group to push your passion and your endeavors in order to achieve certain successions that you want, certain successes that you want?
I mean, it's a great vibe to have, like people surrounding you, like and it's a way to know like if people like care about your like empathy, because that's what poetry is kind of is, like empathy in a way. And that's why my mother, she shows up every time I go to poetry night. She shows up because that's like my thing for her to tell me that she care about me. So I feel like a supportive cast is like everything, because that shows that you're doing good at what you do in a sense. And I would like to reword my answer about like the how I actually got into it kind of. I would
Okay,
say
go
it's
ahead.
more into it as in like I was like a person who like loved and wanted to be loved. So my favorite
Mm,
holiday was like Valentine's Day, and I got
right,
into like poetry because I was like, what can make a woman loves me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
right, right.
poetry. It was like roses are red. You know, that's like the starter kit.
Violets are blue. Yeah, yeah.
So when I got into like the seventh grade, we did like
Hmm.
drama and
Okay,
Shakespeare,
okay.
and then like our teacher challenged us to create poems. Now when he seen what I was like writing, and he was like, "Man, you good at this. You should keep going at it." And then I got to learn like new words, strong words. It was just more
Hmm.
creativity in the vibe sense, and I would say that was got me to stick to it.
Well, look, since you're the last on the stage, I'm gonna kick
Okay.
it off with you since you already here, man. Um, let's dive off into a round of poetry, and everybody prepare yourself. Share the live, like the live, do the thing, because this is the part that you don't want to miss. This is what their passions have driven them to, being creatives in their own lane, their own space. So, Mr. Tony D, talk to the people. Give them this first round. Give them that first round. Talk to the people, man.
As far as like, do you want me
Poetry.
to say a poetry?
Yes, yes, please do.
Oh, okay. Let me hit a book right quick. You have to give me a minute. I have to find my book. So
All right. Well, look, this is what we'll do. If someone else is ready, give me the thumbs up
say what?
already. We're just gonna move on to the next person real quick while you
Okay.
find your book,
Okay.
and we'll get to it. All right. Uh, let's go to Miss Just Angela. She seemed like she ready. She ready already? Already. Let's get to it, Miss Just Angela.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I found it.
All right. Well, just wait. Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Your time
Oh,
is
okay. My
fast.
bad.
Just wait. Just wait. We'll bring it back around. No problem.
Okay. 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 This one is called Grieving.
Mm.
Okay. I thought this grief would end, then I saw you again, and a flood of emotions came all over me again. All that hurt and pain staring me in the face again. But I didn't feel rage. Instead, it was pity. Pity because you didn't understand the part you played. You evaded and dismissed everything that you did to me and thought I was the only one to blame. Instead of wanting to talk it out like we came to do, we were back doing what we used to do. And for that reason alone, I knew staying true to myself was everything I needed to do. But please know that I still love you.
All
Grieving.
right, all right. Let's snap it and clap it up for Miss Angela with grieving. We got somebody else. Tony, you ready now, bro?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Already, already. Let's move it to Tony D.
Okay. This one is called Free Minded. I just wrote this. I just actually performed this at Food for Thought too as well.
Okay, all right.
So I give it to you because you weren't there, so I give it to you.
Hey, go ahead, do your
Okay.
thing. This was last night.
No, I didn't go to the one last night.
Okay, because I was watching it live, man. They still whoosh. But go ahead, do your thing, my brother.
Okay. This is called Free Minded. Okay. As time passes by, locked inside this confinement, I won't let you withdraw my thoughts from my mind. I'm free minded. I'm reminded. I'm free minded. I'm reminding myself that my mind is free and only available to me. And since I hold this pen and pad in this pen and pad, I'll be just fine. Lying down in this cold cell, these cold cells, I'm shivering. Sick of cell, I'm sick of cells. But no matter how cold hearted I get, I won't let my mind waver. It's my peace with my speech. My literature is my savior. I'm reminded that no matter how much control they hold over my self-will, I will still be free-minded. That's it.
Let's snap it and clap it up. Tony D. Reminded. All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Brother Emmanuel, you ready?
Yep. Uh, hey, real quick, I'm already knowing this fire in the house at Food for Thought. That's all they do over there.
Whoosh.
Yeah, whoosh. That's all they did. Just turn up the gas. That's all they do over there. With the, and y'all was dope. Yeah. Both. Yeah. All right. So I will recite some poetry now. Hmm. I crawl through trench mud, short of breath. I got dirt in my eyes as eye to eye with the insects who look at
I
me.
like that.
Yeah, who look at me with glee. Like, thanks for stopping by. For a moment in time, we're in the same place, in the same space for a different case. And while I'm on the front lines of a war with no cause, I'm just an instrument of life and death. The Most High chose me, yet I know not the objective. Wondering why, wondering how, wondering if I'm even effective. The Beatles go about their day, just another one that Yah made. Meanwhile, I struggle to know myself. Do I truly know who I am? I know not, only that I will not, so I toil, I dig. I shoot and reload with dexterity, but I am still barely pulling the trigger consciously. Why be an instrument when the notes are unclear? The shells fall, the machines pierce my ears, but there is no escape. This is what I had to dedicate to fight, to crawl, and inch forward. The horrors about me, the horrors before me. Demons confront me. They tell me, turn back now and you'll be free. But I know that my soul will be thy feast. So I look not back, only forward. So you see, on bloody knees, I crawl through a cramped world because eventually I will stand and I will be the light that lets others see. So you see, I am free. So let us be. Thank you for listening.
Let's snap it up. Let's clap it up. Mr. Obb, what you got in the repertoire? Talk to the
Yeah,
peoples.
I'll spit some new stuff. I've been working on some new writings and stuff, so we'll preview those here.
Already. Absolute. Absolute.
In a conversation with my friend, I realized that there is one power that would be absolutely dangerous in my hands. And it ain't super strength, nor invisibility, nor X-ray vision, but the ability to stop time. There's a few reasons for this. Reason one, I'd be petty in arguments. Make my point, pause the other person, and always get last word. Reason two, I would treat it as an Irish goodbye when stuck in conversations that drag on till lights turn on, bars shut down, and social batteries been tapped. Reason three, if this power to press pause button on planet was placed into my palms, chances are I would forget to let time go. You see, I am a graduate from the University of ADHD, double majored in distraction and procrastination. Every time I'd remember to give time back her sand borrowed from Hourglass, I would find myself stuck in a deja vu where she slips between my fingers, only to fall back into my palms to be used all over again. I, admittedly, have a habit of treating time terribly, abusing her hours, filling every minute with to-dos that seem to never get done, telling her that I ain't text her back because I've been busy. And when I say busy, I mean buried under saying yes just for the sake of avoiding no. She is a healer, though I call her crippling, a hurdle setting me back in a race only existing in my head that we so often call a marathon for some reason, though that hustle never has a finish line. In track, I was trained to outrun time, break records that pushes limits of body that always left me collapsing at end of course. I'm a city so often divided against myself on the edge of falling to burnout, trying to hold myself up long enough to build a foundation that won't function correctly if I'm not taking care of myself to take care of it. So many of us, if we admit it, are terrible with time.
He said terrible with time. I'm gonna bring Mr. Olives back, and possibly we may be able to rewind. But though he was terrible with time, I'm right on time. Prime time, common ground, growing up one mic at a time. This is how we do when we come through. If you don't know us, then you should understand the crew. We got Miss Just Angela, we got Emmanuel, Tony D, Mr. Arbs. Who else would it be? Coming through you with the food for thought. That's the high knowledge kicking in. Like, Ryukin. I pull back and then I spit these words again. My friends, They all planted on this stage. And for days of age, we must always be amazed at the glory that God gives to prioritize Him with this pen and pad. He's our dad. Blessings. Preach. Absolute, absolute. Anybody, hey, we could get to it. You know what I'm saying? We can really get to it. Anybody got a hot topic that they just want to point out? If you want to unmute yourself, if you want to unmute yourself and get to a
Hey,
hot topic real quick,
I
hey,
have
it's all
one.
good. Unless we got another round, you know what I'm saying? It can go down.
you said
Okay, I
hot
have a
topic, man. I
topic.
got one.
Okay, all right. Justin Jello, you say you got a topic. Talk to the people.
Okay, my topic is how has your upbringing affected your relationship? And
Mm,
when I say relationships, I mean romantic relationships.
okay. Anybody care to answer?
Um, as far as like upbringing, as in poetry.
No, not poetry.
Nah. We own poetry, but we ain't own poetry. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
No,
All
just
right.
general romantic relationships with a partner, whoever your partner may be.
And how did our upbringing bring that into fruition? That's what you asking?
No,
Or
how has your upbringing affected your romantic relationships with the partner? Like how you were
mm,
raised. So
okay,
how has
okay.
that affected your romantic relationships with the partner? How you were raised? Because most of the time we how we were raised, they affect how we enter in relationships with the romantic partner. However, we saw how our, parents, mother or father or whoever raised us, how they interacted with, their significant other. It's kind of how we mock how we interact with our partners or significant others. So, how has that impacted or affected your romantic relationships?
I would say, as far as like, I grew up in I always grew up in like a two household. So I've never been, I can't say I've never been like a neglected child in a way. So, I always grew up generally like, as far as love based. So, that kind of, in that sense, it comes platonic to me. Like it's just everything just comes together. I'm like an old fashioned lover though. Like so I'm not used to all this new situationships thing. But yeah, everything is like I'm like a chivalry type person. So I'm I seen what I wanted. So I would say that.
Mm, that's awesome.
You're going to have to
That's
explain
awesome.
that because that was
As far
very vague.
Okay,
if
okay.
I say like I seen what I wanted, I would say like it wasn't like neglection in a way, in a sense. Like I ain't see like too many like parents fighting, like you know what I'm saying. I've seen that in like my relatives, but as far as like two-parent household, I always had that. I mean, my dad he went to jail in a sense, but uh, and my mom she just got a husband. And then I always had like a two-parent household where everything was like pretty like good. I can't say I had a bad upbringing. So as far as how that relates affected my relationship, it's what I wanted to see, like food at the table, taking care of your kids, in a sense, just being around.
Absolute. Absolute.
Okay.
I'm gonna dive in on that question. Um, I realize that if we can say parallel, right? Somewhat of the same, but yet different. Um, I knew that I was raised a little bit more free spirited than my wife is concerned. Um, but was my mom strict? In my eyes, yes, of course. So I had the opportunity to see a person be in a relationship, and this is just based on my side. I had the opportunity to see somebody be in a relationship, and then that relationship ended. Didn't realize that that was ended, but then it transitioned into something else where my mom met someone else, and I seen the family dynamic become a big part of the relationship. This is me outside looking in. They taught me different things. So shouts out to Jinx. Shouts out to my dad too, because he taught me different things as well. So I'm kind of in the similar situation with Tony D. Like, even though my dad was gone away based on, his activity with the military, even when that transition, he still taught me things. But during that transition, there was somebody else to replace that. So I got a chance to see an individual be loving to their family. You know what I'm saying? Love on their family, give them what they needed to actually survive and thrive off of. Because all of the kids have done exceptionally well, and that's on both sides, not only on my adopted side with my adopted father or my stepdad. All of the children across the board have done a great job. Even myself, I was raised in a great home, you know what I'm saying? So seeing the two different dynamics, both male figures, was very prominent in building family, building I think Mr. Oz needs to be added. Yep. Excuse me. Both male partners were both uh very family oriented. And me being who I am as just the only child, or portrayed as the only child, I had siblings on my adopted side, and I had siblings on my stepfather's side as well. So it navigated a path to show how you can love a person even through all of the turmoil, because that's what I saw. Like, even through all of the disruption of one side, and then it kind of like blended together, honestly. Mr. Obbs, you got anything for that? I think you kind of dived out on the question. The question, Angela, if you can just repronounce that question once again. How did your
Upbringing.
growing up affect your
Your
relationship
yeah,
romantically?
yeah, your relationships romantically with the partner.
Yeah, yeah, my bad. I don't even know when the video must have froze on my poem or something, but
And look, it was perfect time, and I say
it
that.
was okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question, I would say so. I like it's crazy because I've kind of been reflecting on how uh having an upbringing in a two-parent household like is not it's strange how it's not like a norm within kind of like said black communities. I never realized that till I was an adult and talked to friends who didn't have like two parents around. But I will say like having that around definitely like set me up better than those who had to kind of figure it out.
Hmm.
Not having that dynamic. But one thing I always tell people that was interesting about my mom and dad's relationship was the way they practice and the way they practice showing that they loved each other more so. I'm not big on kind of giving the full details on family things, so I'll say it like that on a surface level to kind of honor that sanctity. But
Right.
one thing that I learned from them was that I had to unlearn was that like you can be in an intimate partnership and still kind of have a sense of being distant. Um, that's one thing that I grew up kind of like thinking was a thing in all relationships, like it was a norm, um, which isn't obviously, because being in kind of like a partnership in that level of intimacy, there has to be a proximity, not in the sense of like, um, you're not gonna, in my personal belief, I don't think you'll ever fully know the person that you're with in this time and space, you know. But I think it's knowing enough about them, and being able to show yourself enough, your fears, your joys, and all these things. So, and that's what builds connection, So for me, learning that, um, learning how pivotal that is, like in relationships, how you can't have a cold distance to you when you're with somebody. That was a big learning curve, and kind of like how I approach relationships in my life in space and time.
Okay. All right. I noticed once this question came about, there's a lot of ums, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to talk about certain things, but you still want to keep the relationship aspect sacred to a degree. That's what I realized because you're not trying to give too much of anyone's business per se, because they haven't signed the NDA or whatever the case may be, non-disclosure form, because we're talking on behalf of someone else and bringing it into our lives. So I think that's where the ums may come from. Uh, Anybody else? Emmanuel, you got something to say?
I was debating in my head whether or not I should say something. I feel like me personally, uh I could see really almost a direct correlation as to how seeing my parents and relationships kind of affected me. But I ain't ready to share all that, honestly. I'm not ready to
Okay.
walk down that lane again.
Hey, look, hey, respect. That's respect, though. You know what I'm saying? You set your boundary and we must abide, my brother. Angela, what about you? Has it affected your romantic relationship any based on your upbringing?
Yeah, it definitely has. So my parents are still married. So I guess I just went the opposite of that. Um, and when
When you
I
say
say
opposite, what do you mean? Yeah, yeah, go ahead, dive. There you go.
that,
That because
like,
I was gonna ask the question, but you actually started. So go ahead.
yeah, so my parents, they've been married for 47 years.
Hmm.
I'm divorced, so I don't have a problem sharing that. And like, if I look at their marriage, I'll probably be like, "Oh, to death do us part." Like, you just stick through anything, but like my values align somewhere else, kind of. Um, like if something's not right, just looking at like certain things. Basically, like if certain core values aren't met, if this person isn't in alignment for you, basically
Hmm.
not living by that core thing. Not saying that my parents don't have a good marriage. That's not what I'm saying. But not me living by this whole. They're Christians too, so not living by this whole, that whole Christian value. Basically, like no matter what, like you make it work. Like, other things have to be there and have to be in alignment. So I had to choose what was best for me at the time. So,
Do
I
you think
got
faith? Do you
I'm
think faith plays a great big deal when it comes to marriage?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Okay.
And I feel
All right.
like a lot of people like are in unhappy marriages, but they really hold on to those like faith core values, to say because they do believe, because it's faith based, you know what I'm saying? But they
Mm-hmm.
are unhappy. You get what I'm saying? Or they try to make it work, but it's really not work. They still leave steady bumping their heads, or they have a lot of things that are going wrong, like infidelity. Some things like domestic violence, financial abuse, all of these other things. But because it's so faith based, that they just keep bumping and just let like God overtake it or whatever. But we're not here to even discuss all of that. But at the end of the day, like I had to hold on to my own core values and do what was best for me. I got divorced. Um, so, so yeah, you kind of have to look and do what's best for you. But had I upheld probably the faith base and probably looked at my parents, I probably would still be married, but I also would be miserable and then probably wouldn't pay attention to some of the other horrible things that were going on in my marriage. You know what I mean? I probably would have just prayed
Right.
it away, but the prayer wouldn't have made the things better. So
Well, they say
that's what
prayer
I had to
changes
say on
things.
that. I'm sorry.
They say prayer changes things. Um,
But you have to also have action behind those things, and then a person has to also do work to change those things. So
right,
if
and that
that
has to
doesn't
be work
happen,
on
then
both
it's not going to
parties, not
change.
true indeed, true indeed. And I think that work needs to be done between both parties. If
Yeah.
one is not willing to work,
Mhm.
now bring this out of spectrum, you know what I'm saying? If if one is not willing to do the work, and then you have one that is willing to do the work, we still have an unequal yoke.
Mhm. Yeah.
Maybe the one that is not willing to do the work has checked out, but then the one that's willing to do the work still has something that's like fighting for it. Because let's take the faith based method out of the equation, right?
Yeah. Take it out.
They
Yep.
just right. So they believe totally in the other individual as well. If we take
Mhm.
the faith based method out, right? Then
Mhm.
that means the other person actually believes this thing is true, where the other
Mhm.
person is thinking that this may not be true.
Mhm.
And that's a hard pill to swallow
Mhm.
because if there's kids involved, let's say there's children involved, because
Mhm.
most families, you know what I'm saying, not all families, but the majority of families have either one to two children,
Mhm.
whether it's a boy and a boy, girl and a girl, or a boy and a girl. So with that being said, they're taking in consideration,
The
how is
children.
this going to ride, how is
Mhm.
this going to affect the child?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Oh
it's
yeah, a
like,
lot of people stay together longer for the children, and they'll get divorced right after the kids are grown. And
right.
then that usually the kids know that the parents were miserable the whole time, and then kids grow up and talk about that and be like, "I know y'all didn't like each other when I was 9 years old." So
Yeah, because
that's
they
a whole
become
nother
more
discussion for another time.
right.
But yeah, yep.
Hey, but look,
So
I think
Mm.
Tony D still on board.
And
Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay.
I,
Anybody else? Anybody else got something to chime in to say on this topic?
Well, to go. Hello,
Yeah, you still here. We
y'all can
just
hear me?
can't see you, bro. We can hear you. We just can't see you, but it's all
Okay.
good. Speak your
Well, I was
speech,
gonna
bro.
say to go into more of that context. I would say I think people stay in relationships and marriages longer because of the past. I would say like memories. I would say that people are more involved in long term relationships. That's why like marriages work because they think about more of the good memories than or they think about the person who they first started with and can it be that or better.
Right. But that takes a mental aspect to have. That's that's nothing physical. That's something that is solely mental whenever you think about all of the good versus the bad, right? And
Mm-hmm.
most times it's probably the good outweighs the bad. But I think what Angela is saying that is what happens when, okay, the good outweighs the bad, but yet we're just not compatible. We are no longer. She's shaking her head, yeah, backstage. Y'all can't see it, but what happens when we're just not compatible?
What happens when
And
you're
I
just
think
not compatible?
me personally, if you're not compatible, that's okay. Even if there's children involved, it's okay because you have two entities that are um combating one another versus going along with one another. Both of them have certain ideologies that are not fit for a relationship aspect, but because this child is born, there is a relationship aspect that is going on. There is a relationship aspect going on because this child is in the very middle of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So let's dive off into the second round of poetry. Um Miss Angela, if you can come up on stage and give us the second piece. And you have two pieces that you can spit. So since you dropped off the last topic, the hot topic, you get two two pieces that you can spit.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so let me lighten the mood here. Okay, so this is my second piece. Today I married my best friend, the love of my life. The road to getting married hasn't been an easy one, but we have powered through. Truly learn one another and it's still in progress. We have put ourselves and the relationship first. We have worked to make us a priority and have worked to keep our commitment long after we wanted to quit. For this, I know that you are my person and may even be my muse. I'm ready to continue our journey on this day. We say I do. I do to me, I do to you, and I do to us. I love you. Okay, so that's to my future husband. So that's the first piece.
She putting it out here in the universe.
Yes, I am. Okay, and then this next piece is to my daughter. Hurt, ego abuse, bruised, thought I was an exception to the rule. Something special because I was pretty and smart, always on your arm. The first one you called, first text in your phone. Whole time I had to get in line. A line because there were plenty of others. He was hustling and shuffling and strutting around when I wasn't around. Girl, just look around. Got your nose and eyes to the ground when they should be above ground. Focused on you and you only. because you ain't got time to be fooling around. Your parents ain't sent you here to be worried about Antoine, Jim, and what's his name. It don't even matter. Back to you. Remember what you came to do. That business plan, your career goals, and your 6 year plan, you created these goals for you. Don't get sidetracked. Cause what's his name? You know what? Back to you. Have fun, but don't get lost in the sauce because it's easy to do. Remember, the main focus will always and forever be you. Love, Mom.
All right, all right, all right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Snap it and clap it up. Dear brother Emmanuel, we haven't heard from you in a minute. Talk to the people, man.
Um, both those last two poems was that they spoke to me. They spoke to me, and I got something that I can recite that I'm thinking of right now. Might speak to some of you out there. Hmm. Okay.
It seems like you're a
Yearning.
big freestyler, bro.
I'm not freestyling though. It's these ones I got like coded
Locked in the
in
heart.
my yeah, yeah,
Ah, okay. All right, go ahead.
yeah, for
Yearning.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got you back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yearning.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Most stuff. Yearning, reaching, stretching out to get a hold of the world beyond my own conception, something parallel to my dimension, adjacent to my mind, I must mention. I seek reflections congruent to the spirit of Yah within, but is it even possible? The inflection to see it, feel it, smell it, taste, touch it without. I contact, intercept, interplay, and relay with projections, mirrors of my perception. Does this amusement park fun house still leads me to question, is this really the inflection of the Most High within, or merely holograms of my deception? And that's that piece. And
What's the name of that joint, bro?
uh Black Mirrors.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest with you, that's crazy. I had an artist hit me up. We actually listened to him tonight. He hit me up and he has a piece, and his is called Black Mirror. But it's a little
word.
bit different based on the context of what we planted. Excuse me. What we planted off of.
Mm.
Yeah, so let's snap it and clap it up for Black Mirrors by Emmanuel.
I appreciate y'all. I'm glad I was able to reach y'all and touch y'all, like, the words hit me when I was just thinking about them. Uh,
Hmm.
and then let me get y'all this one that I wrote. I don't know when I wrote this. It was a minute ago, but I've never recited it to nobody ever. So to y'all, it's new
Dropping the
shit.
exclusive.
All right.
Yeah,
Yup.
let's be respectful on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Poets supposed to be tasteful. You know what I'm saying? We just
Yes, sir.
learn the
Yes, sir.
vulgarity. You know what I'm saying? The profane. That's all.
Yes, sir. Just,
Yeah,
just,
we got.
just trading war stories. But here we go, man. Here we go. I'm just a human with dreams and ambitions like the rest of them, but I'm not like the rest of them. With hair like a lion's mane and skin like petroleum, I look deeply for the thing that separates me from the rest of them. It's not the burdens that I'm carrying or the demons that I'm burying. It's money what they marrying. But me, I'm very hesitant. I need more than just the presidents. I'm trying to set a precedent. In a sick world, I just pray to offer medicine. And that's that piece.
Let's snap it and clap it up for brother Emmanuel in the house. What's the name of that joint?
That one's untitled, so right now. I might even
Okay.
write some more to it.
Okay. All right. Hey, look, I think all of us as poets, we have some unfinished business. You know what I'm saying? I got a
Yeah.
few in the repertoire that I have not yet to finish. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
hey, it is what it is, my brother.
Yes, indeed. We're
Who's
gonna
up
get to
next?
it.
Let's talk to Tony D. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Already.
I'm gonna
Let's get into this second round, man. You got two
I'm gonna have
pieces
to
to spit.
open up my notes on my phone though, so you probably can't see my face. I don't think so.
Okay. As long as we can hear you in the space, you all right.
Okay, are you able to hear me still?
Yeah, we still able to hear.
Okay, okay. This one called "Moving Carefully." Just when I thought I was getting over you, well, not exactly, but on the path to. You hit me up, but for what? I'm confused, as in conflicted between the two, happy but not amused by the sound of your voice saying that you thought about me, bringing back old feelings and old feuds that I thought would never relight. I can't lose sight of your purpose. Is it worthless or worthwhile? I refuse to be hurt again. So for now, I'll be burning with resistance. That's that first piece.
Let's snap it up. Let's snap it up.
Mhm.
Is that called resistance?
That one called moving carefully.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, when you move carefully, you know what I'm saying? There's some kind of resistance that ain't moving freely.
Yeah.
Already, go ahead. Talk to the
Okay.
peoples, man.
And then I'm gonna give y'all another new one. I was thinking about performing this one
Go
um
ahead, do your thing, brother.
poetry night. Um, I gotta find it. This one is called Burning Flame. Why haven't you wrote anything yet recently? Do you have writer's block? Yes, I do. Well, at least I did for a while. But now the barricade has vanished. I can definitely see now. It's been a while, Tony. Good to see you smile, Tony. What has happened to make you glow like this? What's new? Really? What's changed? Who's to blame? What's her name? Well, a few weeks prior, I did meet a woman. When I say gorgeous, I mean truly beautiful and stunning. And by far, that's not it. Her persona is bright and bubbly, especially when she's out of her comfort zone. She's definitely funny. We stayed up all night, laughing, singing, and listening to music as if nothing really mattered in that moment but finding Cupid. A night to remember. I won't forget the day we first met and ended with a kiss. And ever since then, I've been like this. It's like the flame of my Leo's inner element dimmed. And once we met, sparks began to fly again. Who would have knew that you would be the flare to release my true passion? You truly are my inspiration and fashion. I've never been this lit. And
Tony
that was that.
D.
Yeah.
That's what's up,
That's tough,
Tony.
bro.
Hey, for real, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. Obbs, man, talk to the people. I got one request though. I do have a request. If if you can, bring in that blackety black. Um, you spit that joint where you was raised by your grandmother.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you could say that one for last, but if you already got something in motion, I do want to hear that one. I do want to hear that one. So
Oh,
if you can,
you want me to pull out the gold? Okay, I can.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
mug was tough.
definitely. Yeah, that's that
Then you
one's
performed
tough,
that at Food
bro.
for Thought, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
tough.
I
Grandma's
want to hear
cooking.
that joint. Yeah, grandma's cooking.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a tough joint right there.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I can do that.
you could do that one last though. You could do that one last.
Yeah, we'll kick it off with a new piece, and then we'll just get into that one.
Okay.
I used to say that when I die, I'd want my body broken down to become seeds that can grow into trees. But as I've thought about it, I'd rather become soil. You see, soil is Earth's first foundation, strong, brown, grassroots in his service to the people, organic in his
Mm,
relationships, a complex clay cupped in creator's hands, a mentor who's widely known for how he facilitates growth. National parks wouldn't be who they are without him. Lavender knows to always give him credit, and we all would be losing life expectancy in lungs if he ain't birthed trees that clean air for us to breathe. Even if he falls apart in storms, turns from solid ground to loose mud that leaves feet to sometimes slip up, covered in his mess, I hope in my reincarnation I can make up for times I did dirt. Smudged faces that let walls down only to be pushed off edge, body breaking upon impact of betrayal that leaves crack in trust seen as concrete, creating another set of feet with trust issues that chooses to walk in busy streets than to stroll on sidewalks they swear were safe. I have lived long enough to see me become both confidant and criminal. A war split into two kingdoms divided against myself, falling apart while keeping it together, with washed face and clean smile, distracting you from smoke rising behind teeth as village burns in my belly, genocide committed in conscious community in cranium, doing injustice with an only system that does me right, and in some history books, I will be remembered by my corruption. Crash outs, lash outs, times I was so untethered by grief that I broke seams of hands that held me together, cut myself off, left stitches between loved ones who will never have a chance to heal with I am sorry. So, if reincarnation is real, may I be brought back as soil. Give me the chance to embrace my loved ones when they leave who I fail to hold in arms in prayer. Let karmic seeds I planted in my foundation slowly break through my surface, even if growing pains make me howl in earthquakes of excruciating pain. And may those seeds grow to trees that give shades to epitaphs of those whose names may be buried under tallies of time. Forgetting as people who will make mistakes, did their dirt, have shame they hide under shades of shadow and fear of being chopped down. May I be the soil that catches their spirit when that happens. Holding them in hands that have holes, telling them tales of my shattered images and how I still manage to give life to earth in which I am grounded. Poem.
mm. Let's snap it and clap it up. Mr. Obbs in the house.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let me let's say okay, that other one now. When I go days without stopping by my parents' house, my mom will text me saying, come get some food at the house. I made some soup. You should come get some. You know, I made a really good chicken salad the other day, knowing that I will never say no to her cooking because I understand that cooking is her love language. One that's been passed down from generations of grandmas, aunties, and ancestors of Mississippi, country kinfolk culinary artists who crafted dishes from table scraps, carrying bones of a segregated South, tossed at their feet in contempt, yet always found ways to add love to every plate. And that's why cornbread always tasted like a warm heaven. Collard greens and mac and cheese brought scent that carried comfort. chicken, seasoned, of course, carried and fried in cast iron skillets, brought families together the same way church gathers congregants. And yeah, if we're honest, it ain't the most healthiest with its high cholesterol content. And we know that food disparities in black homes cause stroke and high blood pressure. But I can't deny the holiness that a mother's cooking can bring. How it always brings black boys home. Always makes sure that we're fed, even on days that I starve myself. Waking up with eyes that feel as if they never rested. Stomach filled with aches and pains that sit at the dinner table of my mind, gossiping of shame written on walls of my spirit. So my spirit clings onto lies like leftovers that I keep preserved in cold chamber of chest, frigid hearted and hungry for a helping hand, though keeping my mouth shut as I swallow suffering in silence. And I know that closed mouths don't get fed, but some days opening up is exhausting. It feels like It feels like carrying heavy loads of dirty dishes, stained with fears of my future, anger of past that pile up in the sink of my psyche, filled with anxieties that I tell myself ain't overflooding, because to be black man in this country is to carry heavy grime on your plate and act like it'll weigh you down. And my mother, she knows this. And this is why she reminds me to come home, where I can hear the prayers of Grandma Pew as plates are handed out. When the world makes me an invisible man, the yams remind me who I am, when the world tells me what I am not. As I come to dinner table like altar, laying down my head heavy of all my burdens, knowing that whatever happened to me out there, while I'm here, I am healed and loved. So when my mom texts me saying, come get some food at the house, I made some soup, come get some. I will never say no to her cooking, because I understand that cooking is her love language for a spirit that's been hungering longer than it should. Boom.
Snap it and clap it up for dear brother Obbs.
Hey, Ops, man. I really man, I really feel your poem though, for real, because man, to this day, my mom still cooks for me. She makes like incredible fucking African food. Like, cause my mom was born in Liberia, and she lived in Ivory Coast. And man, she just be making the most incredible African food, and she always like every week or 2 weeks will, like, hit me up and say, "Hey, come get some food, man." And then, man, and that food, bro, be just lifting me back up. And man, I be
Mm-hmm.
sharing it with my friends and all my other peoples, man. They be feeling the same way. Like, they be like, damn, bro, your mama love you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Dog,
because
yeah.
she put that love in the food. You feel me?
Yeah.
Fact, bro. The love, bro. Bro,
Right.
it really nourishes you. It brings you back, for real. But man,
Yeah.
that's why
I'd
I
even
really
say
feel your
it's the
poem.
ancestry behind the food, because like all the foods that
Facts,
we make are all connected in this ancestry that is
facts,
like the black experience, you know. So like it's all,
facts.
you know, it all carries story and lineage to it. You know, that's the whole process of like, you know,
Right.
home cooked meals in black homes. Like it's not it's created by hands that
Over time,
Put
like
that time.
generations, like lifetime after lifetime passing, and just refining and
mm-hmm,
perfecting such a recipe, an experience, dog, and passing it down, and like, damn.
mm-hmm.
And then
There,
we getting the fruits of it on the other side, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
absolutely,
One of the
man.
things, one of the things that I tell these people out here in the streets, whether it's an artist or just me meeting somebody, I ask them this question. I say, what food do you like better? Do you like food out of the microwave, or do you like food out of the oven? And of course, most people is always gonna say, hey, I like food out of the oven. But you have to realize that these flavors that you tasting, this savoriness that you're experiencing, didn't come with something that just was thrown together. It
Hmm.
actually took time to be processed. And that process is the love factor because when you're loving on someone or you love just love in general, there's a time period that happens over that course of time that you get a chance to actually nurture one another. And that goes back to one of angelic questions. That time factor has to do with being processed. First, you go to the store, you get the meats, you get the spices, you get the all of the oreganos and the seasoning salts at Tony's, my choice. You get your Goya, you know what I'm saying? You bring it back home. And then your fingers get a chance to touch what it is that you're preparing for, whether it's your guests that you may have or your significant other, or whether it's your family. You sprinkle it over it. You know what I'm saying? All of this is part of the process. You're sprinkling those seasonings over the food. And then before you even put it in the oven, there has to be a time period of marination. You know what I'm saying? For it to sit for a little while. You might smell the rice cooking, you might smell the beans going, but all of those things are cooked on the stovetop. You see what I'm saying? They cooked above, but what's placed in the oven underneath, that's being heated up to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Those things is what filtrate the whole atmosphere in the room. Like, mine, you cooking a pot roast or spaghetti or you know what I'm saying? Based on the
Yeah,
smell
lasagna.
alone, you can lasagna, whatever the case may be, you can be able to smell what it is that this person is cooking. Um,
But some
even when
people
it come
they got like the passion for it. So
right,
yeah.
right, right, right. You
They're
gotta
very
have look
yeah.
when you cooking. If you don't have a passion for cooking, you shouldn't be behind a plate. Um,
No, real,
honestly,
real.
because culinary arts is very spiritual for us. I just watched this doc. I ain't even about to go into all of that. I'm not.
Why
But
not? What's that documentary? What you see?
well, the thing is like it came from African Americans being slaves until the lady who was cooking for the whole household, she was able to free certain people based on the food that she cooked. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So yeah, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to be kind of like unalived in the sense so that these other people can go on their course. Hold on, somebody's I'm not sure what that was, but yeah. Um, I'm just being honest though, you know what I'm saying? So cooking and the culinary arts, along with the poetic arts, being able to speak over what you're preparing, has a great deal in our culture because we've been given so much power.
Hmm.
We've been given so much responsibility because power is not something that you can loosely play with. You have to be very mindful of the power that you embody in order to, give the people what they need, to feed them, to nurture them, to help them to survive. And I think um, with the food for thought, the poets edition is we're giving people things to feast on for years to come.
Mm.
We're giving them those things. I'm gonna add you back to the stage. Yeah, you had a little bit of a ruckus in the background. I'm gonna just mute you real quick, Tony. Thank you. So yeah, and From relationships, we talked about relationships, we talk about culture, we talked about our loved ones, and this is what the Food for Thought Course edition is about. If y'all can do me one huge favor, one by one, give out your social media outlets to everyone so that they may be able to connect with you. Whether you're here on the South Coast or you in the Midwest, because all of these people that you see from top to bottom, they're all from the Midwest. So I'm bringing y'all here. Take me there with you guys. So starting off, since Mr. Oz was one of the last poets that pronounced himself, go ahead, talk to the people, let them know where you're from, and give your social media account so that people can get in contact with you, man.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. So the socials that I'm on most regularly, you can find me on Facebook, um, and all that. But more preferably, I think IG would be a place to definitely tap in with me. It's Mr. Obbs, Misteraubs. That is my Instagram as well as my website where you can kind of check out the services I kind of provide as a poet. Because as a poet, I don't just do performance; we do consulting, professional developments and education and all that. So definitely follow that. But also tap in on my website for my nonprofit, younglionsroar.com. That's younglionsroar.com. Definitely check out the program that we do on a global level when it comes to teaching poetry. Again, professional developments, working with corporations, and showing them how to use poetry. We do it all, so definitely tap into those. And I'm also on LinkedIn, so Aubrey Barnes on LinkedIn, Barnes, and Aubrey Aubrey.
Absolute, absolute. Justin Jella, talk to the people, let them know how they can get in contact with you, love.
Actually, come to me last, okay?
Okay, all right. Mr. Emmanuel, are you ready?
Yeah, I can be followed
Talk to the
on
people.
IG mainly at no alias, no underscore alias. Yeah.
All right, all right. I think Tony actually chimed out. Uh, we'll get to him if he comes back. But Angela, are you ready?
Yes, follow me on Instagram at Gone Again Angela. And that's just Gone spelled the regular way again. And Angela is Angella. And that's my Instagram handle. And that's the best way to reach out to me.
Absolute, absolute. Tony D is not on stage right now, but if you could just read this ticker at the bottom. Tony is from Madison, Wisconsin, as well as far as poetry. It has brought me an immense joy to his life. So just read this ticker. I think Tony's coming back in. Tony, talk to the people, man. Let them know where you're from and get them acclimated with your socials, bro.
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, on social media, it'll be Instagram, Tony D underscore official. And yeah, that is me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Tony. Tell them again, bro.
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Midwest. My social media is Tony, TonyD underscore official.
Already, already, already. You guys have heard it here first, live on the Uncommon Report podcast, episode 26. This is the Food for Thought Poets Edition. We greatly appreciate each and every audience member that has participated tonight. We thank Mr. Aubrey Barnes. We thank Mr. Tony D, my brother, Emmanuel, and Miss Just Angela. Stay tuned because we got some things that we're brewing up. Never know, we might have a live showcasing near you. This has been the Uncommon Report podcast with Common Ground, where we're growing up one mic at a time. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, and we out.
All right.
Peace. Shout out Midwest Milwaukee.
Already.
Shout out
Hey,
4140.
you feel me? Already. Much love, guys.
Much love.
Much
Peace.
love, Chi-Town all day.